Hey friends, welcome back to Rita Talks. I'm Rita, and on this YouTube channel, I just share some of the thoughts, ideas that I've been thinking about, some of the things that have been going on in my mind. And in today's video, I want to talk about an idea that I've had, that I've been thinking about, and basically it's like an idea that has been brewing in my head for probably years, so probably something like 4 to 5 years, but I think today I just had a breakthrough into what makes this idea relevant. And basically, this idea is about recommendation systems and how we can improve them. And basically, my thinking behind this is that I've always, like struggled with getting inspired or finding the right content at the right moment, whether that's books, movies, TV shows, podcasts, music, all of this stuff. I've been thinking about it at the back of my mind. Like, some days I feel like listening to some sad music, some days I feel like listening to dance music, some days I feel like listening to Imagine Dragons all day, some other days it's all Coldplay, and like basically I have different seasons of listening or watching preferences. And basically, I've not found in the current state of the art of the recommendation systems that exist in the different apps that I use, I've not found any recommendation system that is able to capture that and give me exactly the right content at the right moment. And basically, like what sparked my thinking about this is that I think it was just probably rolled out 2 or 3 days ago. But basically, Spotify has changed their recommendation algorithm for podcasts, and now it's like suggesting me like basically more or less like that the podcasts that are shown on my Spotify page as episodes for you are basically start like whenever I'm playing a podcast, the next podcast is actually whatever is shown here on this list. And basically the reason that I started to think about this is that lately I've been trying to avoid any really dense information podcasts because I've been less in the mood to take extensive notes, and I'm just trying to listen to something that I want to find inspiring without the need to like take like to go through anything that's super dense. And so, for example, even though the How I Write podcast is a podcast that I absolutely love, I've just not really been in the mood for listening to podcast episodes from this podcast because basically I'm not in the right frame of mind to listen to this, and I just feel guilty about not taking as much notes as I want. And this got me thinking that okay, I like this podcast. It's just that it's not for me now. But if I ignore it, like if I don't listen to it or whatever, then Spotify will probably understand that as, oh, I don't like this podcast anymore. But that's not the case. It's just that I'm in a different season of my life and I'm looking for different type of content, just more maybe less more inspirational and less information dense. So basically, I think, for example, for me right now, the perfect um, podcast is listening to Peter Diamandis' podcast Moonshots and Mindset, but not stuff about AI because anything that's about AI, I feel compelled to take notes. but I just want to, like, for example, I listened today to the podcast episode on that podcast episode number 82 on the moonshots with Peter Diamandis podcast, basically with Adam Goldstein, and I think he's the CEO of a company that does like flying cars, or I think they had like some different naming for flying cars basically for it, and basically the company is Archer. And basically I liked this episode because it was mostly inspirational, and like of course it was information dense, but I didn't feel compelled to take notes because this is not like one of my active topics of thought or reflection, whereas for example how I write, I'm super interested in knowing how to write and like to learn from authors and stuff like this. And so that's where I feel like bad about not taking notes. And yeah, basically I just felt like, okay, I'm listening to this podcast episode guilt free. And actually I have the same concept. I use the same concept for books. Is that basically like in the morning I like to listen to some specific types of books that are different to the type of books that I like to listen to and read in the evening. And basically, like the current recommendation systems are mostly, from what I can tell, one-dimensional in terms of time. Like they either say, oh, you like this or you don't like this, but it's almost never the case that like it's 100% one, like it's not the only factor, liking something or not, when determining what's the next thing to consume. But actually for me, the time of day is highly determinant of the kind of content that I want to watch, that I want to consume in either of these topics, like either music, books, podcasts, movies, YouTube videos, all of this stuff. I think it's the same. I've felt the same struggle with finding the exact right thing that I want to learn and that I want to learn from. And so today I've just thought about it, that I think recommendation systems need to change to be, first of all, to take into account the time of day. So especially for YouTube videos and Netflix. So for example, for me, during the day, if I am like, I'm more likely to watch like YouTube videos during the day and long form content in the evening, like Netflix or whatever, just because of how I feel. And basically the thing now that everything is jumbled up. They're not able to discern, like, I'm watching this because it's this time of day. They just take the signal as I like this or I don't like this, and it's like very, very binary, or like there is no room for nuance. And I would like for these recommendation systems to have much more room for nuance, to take into account the fact, like basically to localize the information. If I ignore an episode or don't watch it, it's not that, like basically they go from a local information that, okay, at this day, like at this day, at this time, I did not want to watch this thing, and they generalize it to saying that, oh, I don't like this thing, but actually that information is very local. It's this day at this time, etc. It does not mean that I'm not gonna like it tomorrow, or that I'm not gonna like it the same day at a different time of day. But yeah, I've just found that like the current state of recommendation algorithms are very bad at this, and that's what I wish I could improve. And also have like this kind of thing that, okay, there are these time of days, like there's this daily seasonality in some sense, but there is also like a wider range of seasonality. So for example, like that's not basically like a seasonality that's not specifically tied, like we cannot basically determine in terms of increments. So for example, like something that repeats every day, like it's something based on how I'm feeling, and the period of time for which I'm in the mood for something can be extended or extremely small. And basically, probably that will be the harder one to incorporate into recommendation systems. But I think the way to incorporate it um, is to basically identify that, like for example, let's say so for example on my YouTube, the kind of videos that I watch on YouTube, like they vary from anything that's basically content for divertissement. I can't find the word in English, but basically like fun content, a bit like what Will Tennyson does, or Eric the Electric does, and I like to to put this kind of content on, just to be like just when I'm not feeling like engaging too much of my brain, and I just need a rest and I just need something funny to watch. So that's some some category of content that I like to watch. There's also like a different category of content that I like to watch when I'm on YouTube, is like maybe a bit more business oriented. So watching the Diary of a CEO vlogs, or watching some of the Hormozy vlogs, or some of the Hormozy content, or some of the Ali Abdaal content that basically fits in more into a category. And basically, what I wish, like these recommendation systems identified, is okay. What are the different categories of content that I like to watch? And depending on time of day, I would be in the mood for different categories of content, so that would be a good start. That would be a good start to improve the recommendation system. So for example, like I don't like to watch serious stuff at night, especially on YouTube. So if I'm gonna watch some YouTube, it's gonna be like in the like depending on the season. Basically, if I have lots of work to do, maybe I need some inspiration, so maybe I will watch some of the Hormozy stuff, or maybe it will be the opposite, and I will just need to turn my brain off for a bit, or like just try and find something fun, and so I'll just watch something from Eric the Electric. And so there's a wide range of preferences that are very seasonal. And what I wish basically the recommendation algorithms detected is that, okay, for each viewing session, so whenever I get on the platform, determine what I'm in the mood for. So whatever first view videos I click on or that catch my attention, or like basically those, and try to shape all of my recommendations for that viewing session based on that, even on the discover page. But basically the pain point that I'm facing right now is that, okay, let's say I'm in the mood for watching more of Eric the Electric and like fun kind of stuff. I will just basically just like start watching some of that stuff. But then if I go back to my main discover page on YouTube, like the recommendations part, I will still see stuff about Hormozy and like super serious stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to watch that kind of stuff right now. Like, you did you not just get that this is what I'm in the mood for right now? And that's a pain point that, I don't know, it's taken me a while to articulate, but I've been able to to articulate it because, like, Spotify just changed the recommendation algorithm, and basically I faced it today when I was trying to decide what podcast to listen to when I was at the gym. So so yeah, I just got super excited about that. I've always found the problem of finding the right content at the right time super interesting, because it's a problem that I've always struggled with. That I like some days I will find some of the best movies ever, and I will be so happy about it. But then I will feel kind of sad that, oh, I will never be able to discover this kind of stuff again. But then if I move from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset, I know that there will always be more. Uh, it's just basically finding the right way to like the right mechanism that will ensure that that's true. And I think it ties back a bit into basically YouTube's goal, for example, which they are saying that their philosophy is to show the right video at the right time for their viewers. But I still think they have some work to do on that. And I think it's the same for all of the platforms that basically need recommendation systems or need to do some sort of suggestions, some sort of curation of the vast of amount of content that's out there. So yeah, I hope this was not too I don't know, too vague. But this is just a problem that I find super fun, and actually I might talk to tomorrow to one of my colleagues. I mean, she's not from my team, but basically she works at the same company as I do, and she has filed quite a few patents. Uh, so I'm thinking maybe, I mean, probably someone has already thought about this before, and maybe it's just a matter of time before they implement it. But it would be cool to try and file a patent. So I'm just gonna reach out to her and see if we can do some patenting for this. That would be fun. And yeah, it's like an idea that has been, as long as basically I've had the internet, like even before when I was just watching TV when I was a kid, I would just get frustrated that the same TV shows would play over and over again. And so I just wanted like to explore other stuff, but because of the limitations of TV, I could not. And I would get frustrated that the same episodes of like my cartoon would play over and over again on the TV, like CF Atomic Betty when I was watching it on Teletoon, I think. But basically, they would play the same episodes over and over again the whole afternoon. And I could not change channels because basically, like, it goes back like such a long time. I think it was even before my kid sister was born. So at least, yeah, I think it's at least 17 years. Like my kid sister is 15, and I think it was even before then, like when I was 6, 7, 8, 9. I was trying to like find the right content at the right time. And yeah, it's just been such a like a problem that I've tried to deal with throughout my life. And I think now I have maybe a better system for it. But yeah, it's been like probably a lifelong problem for me that the promise like that the internet has partially solved, but not good enough that like okay they get it. like this is exactly what I want right now, even though I don't know how to articulate it basically as a human. Yeah, I just got super excited about that. So just wanted to share today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Today you can click here to watch my previous video on this channel, so the one right before this one, or you can click here to watch my latest video on the channel overall. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the night, whichever time of day it is where you are right now. Bye for now, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye!